Howdy, y'all. Paulo Hernandez here. So, today, because of everything going on with Tim Kennedy, I want to do another video about stolen valor. Except this time, I want to offer a different perspective, one that I don't think people are really talking about. So, let me jump into it. Even though there is stolen valor, not all veterans do it. Look, I really enjoy watching stolen valor videos. They're entertaining, they're fun, they have a lot of shock value. It's like not being able to look away when you see a car crash. But here's the thing, stolen valor does not represent the military or the veteran community. It's just a few bad apples. And I'm here to remind you that most vets are out here trying to live honest lives and do great things and contribute to society. I'll talk a little bit about civilians that do it, but I'm going to focus mostly on veterans. Again, I'm not an expert on the topic. This is just my 2 cents. So let's get real for a second. We've all seen it. The guys who wear or claim medals they didn't earn, or the people who claim to have served in elite cool guy units even though they never actually did, or the people who say they've seen more combat than our beloved Chesty Puller. But here's the truth, their stolen valor doesn't define us. When I say us, I mean veterans. It's a small percentage of people making really, really dumb decisions. You can look everything up nowadays. And when they make these bad decisions, they make all of us look really bad. So in this video, we're going to dive into why stolen valor is not the real story of veterans. It's just a loud minority. And trust me, the silent majority of veterans have so much more to offer. I'll tell you right now, most veterans are out here doing some amazing things. They're basically changing the world. A lot of things that are flying under the radar. And because the majority of veterans have an air of confidence about them, they don't need to talk about it. Look, the military is a huge machine and it takes a lot of different roles to keep it running. The big thing that I think those that are committing stolen valor claim is being in elite units. But you can't mass produce special operations capabilities. That's why it's special. For every 4 deployed troop, it takes like 10 support personnel. For the US infantry to be as lethal as it is, you need a lot of supporting and logistical assets to keep it running. For instance, only like 15% of the US military is infantry. Only 3.5% are in SOF. That doesn't mean that the other roles aren't as important. Every veteran that served did his or her part, and it's needed to keep the machine working. Although a few lie about their jobs, I think most veterans own the job that they did, and I think it's freaking awesome they do that, because in real life, not everybody can be some super special commando type. But let's be real. How many of you out there actually know a vet? How many of you have a family member or a friend who served? I'm sure if it's not all, it's most. And I bet that most of the veterans that you know didn't join to collect medals or accolades. They served because of a deep sense of duty. And even if they only joined so they could change their personal narrative, i.e., get money for school, learn a trade, or get out of a individual circumstance that they were in, it doesn't matter. It's all part of that awesome story that makes veterans respected. And it gets lost in the noise when stolen valor happens. All veterans that served honorably have my respect. It doesn't matter what job you did or if you saw combat or not, you sacrificed in some form or fashion, especially if you signed up during a time of war, because anything can happen. So, mad respect. But the reality is that even though we've been at war for 20 plus years, not everyone was pulling triggers in combat. It's such a small percentage of folks that actually gun. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Technically, a combat vet is someone that deployed to a combat zone. It doesn't matter if they were actually pulling triggers and fighting. I personally think that the DoD and the VA should restrict the definitions a little bit more, especially between a combat vet and a war vet. For a combat vet, I think you should have earned your branch's award for direct combat, i.e., a CAR, CAM, CIB, CAB, and for a war vet, it should be anyone that earned a campaign medal, i.e., Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, etc. But as it stands today, to be classified as a combat vet, you have to have served in a designated combat zone, or received hostile fire pay or imminent danger pay, or be awarded certain military decorations that indicate combat experience, i.e., the Purple Heart or Bronze Star, etc. Regardless of the definition, I think most veterans are honest about their service. I can't count the times that I've met an Iraq or Afghanistan veteran And the first few words out of their mouth are, I deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan, but I didn't see combat. Irregardless if you saw combat or not, you should be extremely proud of your service. You signed up, you deployed, you did your part. You did a lot more than most, and you should be hella proud of that. Stolen valor. It's frustrating, it's disrespectful, and even though we can't look away, it makes every veteran cringe. But let's get this straight, it's not the norm. There are only a few individuals out there actually doing this. It's just what we see because that's just how media is. Stolen Valor vets are just a blip on the radar compared to the millions of veterans who are quietly doing extraordinary things every day. Unfortunately, the vets that commit stolen valor cause civilians to lose trust, and that takes away from the veteran community as a whole. Here's another question: how many vets are quietly making an impact on the world, helping others, and serving in ways that nobody talks about? Veterans aren't just guys and girls in uniforms with medals. Most of us are out here making a difference. Take a look at these stellar veteran founded organizations like Operation Homefront or Team Rubicon. These groups founded by veterans are making an actual difference in the lives of others by providing resources, support, and a sense of community for those that need it most. So, yeah, while a few bad apples might make a lot of noise, the real impact veterans have on society is immeasurable. Although we don't see enough of these stories, they're happening. And they're happening everywhere. There are veterans who are running tech startups. There are veterans that are teaching in public schools or continuing to protect us as LEOs, EMTs, paramedics, or firefighters. These stories exist, and we should probably do a better job of making them known. Look, I enjoy watching a cringy stolen valor video, but I want people to know that it's the minority, and it's actually fairly rare. Embellishing a little, yeah, I think everyone does it to an extent, but actual stolen valor is rare. And let me ask you this: I presume most of you have at least met a veteran and probably know them pretty well. Did you ever feel like they were bragging about their service or committing stolen valor? Probably not. I know some do, but a lot of us just use our service as a way to connect or establish experience in an industry or whatever, but most don't need to talk about it. We live our service every day through our actions. So, what does a real veteran look like? Not the guy at the bar who claims to be a Navy SEAL. No, the real veteran is the one that gets up quietly every day and does the work, whether it's for their family, their community, or just making the world a little bit better. But that's what veterans do: lead by example. Let's talk about the damage for a moment. When someone claims to be something that they're not, it's not just about the dishonor, it erodes trust and the meaning of what we've sacrificed for. The medals, the honors, they all stand for something much bigger than any individual. It's really about sacrifice. It's about the brotherhood. And when stolen valor is allowed to persist, it diminishes that. And veterans have to do a better job at keeping everyone accountable. You've probably heard about veterans who run into challenges transitioning back into civilian life, right? It's a real struggle. Transitioning out of the military can be extremely difficult. And what hurts more than anything is when someone lies about being a veteran. It's an insult to those who have truly served and continue to fight every day in ways you'll never see. So here's the deal: stolen valor is not who we are. It's not a blip on the radar, and the rest of us have a much bigger story to tell. Veterans are out here making a positive impact every single day, whether we see it or not. Don't let a few bad apples define us. If you're a vet, keep doing what you're doing and keep being a great American. And if you're a civilian and ever wondered about what it really means to be a veteran, just look at all the awesome things that veterans are doing. If you want to hear more content about the military, cybersecurity, or defense related topics, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to hit that bell notification button so you don't miss a new video. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there. Cheers.